Hi everyone, my name is Ozge. We are both solutions architect at AWS.
And my name is Beril.
We are so excited to begin our first YouTube video. We hope that the content produced on this channel will be useful so that you can improve your knowledge in different areas. Beril, maybe you could start with your introduction so we can continue from there.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Ozge. So, hi everyone. I am Beril, and I am working at AWS as a solutions architect for 1 year. Before that, I was doing my master's at Technical University of Munich, and I was working at different companies as a working student.
Thank you, Beril, for a great introduction. Would you like to explain what solutions architect actually does? Because you mentioned your solutions architect.
Sure. So, we are responsible, like as a solutions architect, we are responsible for managing the organization's cloud computing architecture, and for that, we mostly have in-depth knowledge of the architectural principles and the services that use to develop this technical cloud strategy. And we also assist with cloud migration efforts. We review some workload architectures, and overall, we provide guidance on how to address their issues or the problems that they're facing.
But I'm also solutions architect, so I'm curious, how did you become solutions architect? What was your profession before that? Could you please explain a little bit more about
Yeah,
with your background?
sure. Actually, mine is a bit mixed because in my bachelor's, I studied electrical and electronics engineering at Bilkent University in Turkey. And during my bachelor's, I was always interested in biomedical engineering. So after the graduation, I was searching for masters, and I found this biomedical computing master program at TUM. And that program, it was mostly focusing on deep learning, artificial intelligence, computer vision, and also robotics, mostly in the medical field. And I really enjoyed that program. So during my studies, I also started working as some working student in different companies. And in my first company, I worked as a software engineer, and my main focus was on microcontroller communication. So after that, I changed the company and worked as a data engineer intern. And in my second company, I learned cloud and AWS. So actually, it was a place where I met with the cloud, and they were using AWS for their data pipeline. That job actually took my interest, and my colleague suggested me to prepare for the cloud practitioner certification. It's one of the fundamental certifications, and I really recommend it to the beginners. And after that certification, I actually got a better understanding of the services. And while studying for that certification during the job, I thought that working in cloud area is really interesting. So I started searching for jobs at AWS, and I saw this early career program, which is called TechU. Actually, that's the program that we met earlier. So nice to meet you
Yeah,
again.
I miss those days. Like you mentioned TechU, could you please explain us what TechU is to give an overview for our audience?
Sure. So I'm Bristol based too. And also, we can talk more about TechU in detail for maybe in our upcoming videos, but briefly to explain it. So it is an on-the-job training program where you get trained for 6 months and you develop your skills during that time. So you improve your technical knowledge, your technical skills related with AWS services, together with your presentation skills, speaking skills. And after that 6 months, you join your team as a solutions architect, and then your actual customer work begins.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, right? It helped us to gain technical skills as well. So do you think kind of having a technical background is a must? Because for my case, I used to be a software engineer before. What would be your suggestions for who is looking for solutions architect job? Who is
I think,
for the people who is looking for
mhm.
solution architecture?
Yeah, I think this is a really good question, Özge. So, in my opinion, like having a technical background helps, of course, but I won't consider it as a must because, it really depends on the person in an individual level. So, if you're passionate about learning, there are always some resources that are publicly available. Like you can get AWS certifications to increase your knowledge about the services, or You can use some trainings that are offered or read blog posts on the web. So, that is always possible to increase your knowledge. But I said, yes, it helps to have a technical background, because you understand the problems and the services more easily. So that's the actual way how it helps. But besides that, I won't consider it as a must. So if you're passionate about learning, it's totally possible to do it.
Yeah, nice explanation. Also, lots of software developers asking as well, like, do you need a coding sequence, for example? Is it helpful to know C++, Java, maybe Python?
Mm-hmm.
Could you please explain this?
Actually, in the official SA job qualification, it is written as like knowledge of one of the programming languages like Java, Python is in the preferred qualifications. Or if you don't have it, then the interest or the technical ability to learn that programming language is one of the preferred ones. So my point of view, again, I think it's not a must, but it helps you a lot if you already have those skills, because like at least the basics, the essentials of the programming, since it eases your daily tasks.
Yeah, thanks. I also agree with you. What about like how is your day-to-day job? So as a SA, I know it's a customer-facing role because I'm also SA. So if you can summarize what we are doing during the day, that would be awesome.
So SA is a customer-facing role, and because of that, most of my time I am preparing for customer meetings. Like I am doing presentations, demos, some like designing some solutions, and besides that, we are having some internal meetings. So it depends on the day, but this is how my one day usually looks like.
Yeah, mine too. So could you please explain some of the SA activities in general? So as you know, we have different solutions architect activities. Could be like the blog post, public speaking. Maybe you can talk about those.
Exactly. So even though we have a customer-facing role, we also do other tasks like blog post creation, technical content creation, public speaking, architecture reviews, and of course those customer meetings.
So you mentioned like a customer meetings couple of times. Maybe our audience could be like curious. Is it in person? Are you working remote? So do you travel a lot for your customers?
I think it's a bit different for us, Özge, because we both started after COVID, and from my colleagues, I heard that before COVID they were traveling a lot for the customer meetings, but after the COVID, most of the companies started working virtually. So I think the number of meetings where you go to the customers directly is a bit less now compared to past. But of course, like there are also times where you go and have the meeting in person with the customer. So it really depends on the customer or the activity that you are doing.
Yeah, it's also increased recently. We go a lot to our customers' offices, sometimes in another country as well. So there are also events, right? We do the public speaking. So we travel for doing those activities as well. Could be like conferences, workshops, to deliver workshops. We also travel for those too. What about the team offsites? We also have like kind of gathering the team members and doing some activities. Well, what do you think about that?
So as I said, I think in the past it was a bit more, but like in terms of traveling. But yes, after I joined, I also traveled a lot due to those team offsites, because we are a diverse team and we have team members from different cities. So I think having those team offsites are really fun, because both you're doing some team bonding activities, and also you're having your internal team meetings in person. So I can consider it as like both having fun and also at the same time working. So I think that team offsites are really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. I think team offsites helpful for information sharing, also to seeing colleagues face to face and working together. It's kind of fun activities as well. How about like your work-life balance? If you wanna give an example, so how do you schedule your day after your day? How is your life in general?
I think this is a really good question, Ozge, and prioritization is one of the important things in this role because, there are too many requests where you have to do some prioritization to handle those requests. So for me, you remember in TechU, we also had too many tasks and I needed to do some kind of planning for my day to handle the work. And for that, I actually started having an agenda. And at the end, it really helped me a lot because I'm planning my day beforehand. So at the end of each work day, I'm saying that, okay, so these are the tasks that are important and urgent. So I have to do them in the morning so I can see those tasks. And that actually gives me a bit more relief. So that really helps. And I think having this agenda is one of the key elements to ensure that work-life balance so that you can do that planning.
Yeah, I agree. When you do the agenda and do the to-do list, you can see the which tasks are more important than the others, and you can do your prioritization. It's also
Exactly.
same method for me. I got some tips from you during the TechU. So thanks, Beril. Now we are coming to the end. Let's do a final recap what we talked today. So we talked about like what's an solutions architect role, how we end up in AWS. Actually, how Beril end up in AWS is almost same story, but quite different. So how is work life in AWS as a solutions architect? So we hope that today's session will be helpful for future solutions architect. Hope to see you soon in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you, everyone. Thank you.
See you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.